I've had the opportunity to review a lot of different personal statements for people who are going to medical school. I've been a medical school admissions interviewer, and I've written my own personal statement as I journeyed to medical school. So today on this episode of the BMed podcast, we're going to tackle how to write a compelling personal statement. And I'm even going to share parts of my personal statement with you that helped me to get 2 full-ride scholarships to different medical schools. But before we get started, I want you to first follow BlackMed Connect on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcast platform, be sure to follow and subscribe. Now, let's jump right into the episode. Welcome back to the BlackMed Connect podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jasmine Weiss, and we share inspiring stories of Black physicians and physicians in training. And today I'm going to share with you 3 tips to help you write a compelling personal statement. So the first tip I have for you is to make sure you crush the opening act. Just like in a play or in a movie, when the action gets started, you want to make sure your first paragraph of your personal statement is something that's very attention-grabbing. It's something that captures the reader's attention. And I know this sounds unique because you're writing an essay to get into medical school, but individuals are reading a lot of personal statements, and you want to do your best to stand out. So let me share with you a snippet from my own personal statement when I was applying to medical school. As a child, it was very common for me to stare out of the window as the school bus would go by. All I wanted to do is go to school, but the wheezing, the coughing, and the nebulizer treatments made this an impossible feat. Multiple stays in the hospital and recurring doctor's office visits due to my asthma were absolutely dreadful. The only source of comfort at the doctor's office was the pediatrician, whose kind words always eased my mind and helped me with my illness. My experiences with asthma, coupled with my pediatrician's compassion, warmth, and ability to relate to me during my time of sickness, sparked my interest in medicine. At a young age, I knew that one day I wanted to reciprocate the generosity afforded to me in an effort to care for suffering individuals. So this was my opening act, and this was a way to make sure that the readers knew my passion for medicine was personal and very deep for me. So make sure you figure out what's important to you and showcase that experience in your opening paragraph. The second tip I have for you is to make sure you showcase your personal experiences throughout your personal statement. This is not the time to be shy. I want you to be sure you think about activities that you've done that you really valued that really helped you solidify your interest in medicine. And this isn't the time to be superficial. I want you to be very specific about what you learned during the experience, how it impacted others and impacted patients, and ultimately how that experience helped you move forward as you decided to go to medical school. Let me share this next excerpt with you from my personal statement where I highlighted a particular experience. There was a day when every single patient that came into the office suffered from high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol. A common thread amongst the majority of these patients was that these individuals were from minority populations. While working as an assistant office manager for a durable medical equipment company, I also noticed that a majority of the patients were coming in for diabetic supports and motor wheelchairs due to amputation, and these individuals were often African Americans who were on Medicare or Medicaid. Having these personal experiences allowed me to see the vast effects of lifestyle diseases and how they impacted minority communities. Being that minorities collectively have less access to quality, affordable healthcare in the United States, it is my desire to be a part of the solution by serving underserved populations. As the daughter, granddaughter, and great-granddaughter of 3 women, each of whom have diabetes and high blood pressure, I can identify with patients and families who are trying to help their loved ones make lifestyle changes due to these illnesses. So again, this highlights how my own personal family experiences and my work experiences and shadowing opportunities and shadowing experiences that I've had helped me to really become interested and passionate about health in underserved communities. So that's tip number 2. Make sure you showcase the experiences that are important to you and why they've helped you to decide on a career in medicine. My third tip for you is to make sure you are authentic when you write your personal statement. This is about your unique journey. So don't try to copy anyone else. Don't look at the framework or the way in which other personal statements have been written. You can use ultimately the same kind of opening paragraph, talk about your experiences and conclusion. Make sure you talk about something that is very near and dear to you. Remember, this personal statement will be something that schools will read to get to know you better. So you don't want to pick an experience that you think is important just because it may have been the most popular or most prominent experience you had. Pick something that was really impactful to you in your journey to medicine. So that is my third tip for you. Make sure you are authentic when you're writing your application and writing your personal statement. My final bonus tip I have for you is that this process takes time. So I want you to make sure you take some time just to brainstorm about what type of topic you want to talk about during your personal statement. I want you to reflect back on different volunteer experiences you've had, any patient care experiences you've had, what has happened with you personally in your health, or maybe even your family or a friend. Make sure you take the time to reflect on how all of those experiences have shaped you and made you the person you are as you pursue medical school. So when writing that personal statement, I want you to take the time to brainstorm. So that's my bonus tip for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode where I shared 3 compelling tips to help you tackle your personal statement. I want you to remember to hit that personal statement hard in the first paragraph. Make sure you have a great opening paragraph that is interesting and exciting and gets the reader engaged in reading your personal statement. Then I want to make sure you highlight and showcase your personal experiences that helped you to decide why medicine is a career that's important to you. And then don't forget to be authentic. Write about something that was meaningful to you and impactful to you as you write your personal statement. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Next week, we're going to also tackle a little bit more about the common mistakes that people make when writing their personal statements. So make sure you tune in next week. Don't forget to follow BlackMed Connect on all podcast platforms. And until next time, always remember to dream without limits.